Hello and welcome to Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health. I'm Jake Symons, and for the next half an hour we're going to be having a big friendly conversation about mental health, discussing all things. I kind of waffle on for a bit just to make sure the stream's actually working, because currently we're not actually connected to YouTube, even though we are, obviously, very much connected to YouTube. Apparently we're not, so that's something to work. The new Streamlabs doesn't actually pick up my live stream, which is really irritating. And I'm not actually sure how to fix that. I'm probably actually going to reset the stream. I'm going to try and restart. So maybe a slight delay. I do apologise for that, but I can't actually see any of the YouTube. I know we're live on YouTube. I just can't see that. So give me a couple of minutes and we'll get right into the show. Hello and welcome to Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health. I'm Jake Symons. For the next half an hour, we're going to be discussing all things mental health. You can tell we're getting into the winter months as the light has gone on for the first time this year, actually, on Mental Monday. So light is on, winter months are coming in, and we're here to talk about mental health, have a catch up, see how things have been getting on. There's a slight issue on YouTube, which is that I can't actually connect my live stream to YouTube Studio. I can see myself live. I know we are live. Sound is working. Let me just do a quick sound check. The delay on the stream is atrocious. I can only apologise for good country Wi-Fi for that, but we do have sound. So we are live, and everything should be working as intended. So, as I say, for the next half an hour, we're going to be discussing mental health, how things have been getting on. Obviously, in the news today, more lockdown measures coming in. Bit of a bleak picture out there, especially after the government briefing today, and then one coming for tomorrow from Boris. So it's not a brilliant picture out there, is it? How are you feeling about that? It's, I guess, quite special for me. Obviously, we're still shielding, have been shielding. Haven't actually gone out that much since March. Gone, church a few times, the shops occasionally. Most of the time relying on deliveries. Haven't really got out much. I mean, how are you getting on? Are you finding you're able to go out and about? Are you worried that people aren't going to social distance or not wear their masks or confront you if you're not able to wear a mask for an exemption reason? So yeah, there's a lot of anxiety out there, and quite a depressing picture. How's that affecting you? Weighing you down? Do let me know. So I normally waffle on for a few minutes, as we always start these, just like to let people join and to just, actually allow people time to actually come in, because we kind of messed up the start of this again by being live and then not being live. The hair has been cut. I think this is my first live since I had my hair cut. That was another thing I went out to do. I had my hair cut, which is now looking atrocious. Because, yeah, it's now looking atrocious. The light doesn't help. It makes my forehead look all sweaty, which it's not. It's the light. But definitely, yeah. So I'll kick things off then with how my week's been. And that's stressful. And a bit of a mixed bag, really. I'm still kind of in two minds as to job or freelancing, because obviously I lost my job in August, which wasn't brilliant. So now I'm living off my savings again, which isn't brilliant, and they'll eventually run out. I can't live on my savings forever, so I do actually need an income. So is it between freelancing or getting a job where I have to potentially go to work, which I can't do because obviously, we're shielding, so that's not really appropriate. So not really much to do in that situation. But then do I try and freelance, which is obviously very risky. I've obviously not got any investment into it because I need all my money for food and to actually live on. So I can't really invest my savings into my business, which I would normally do. But yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, that. So I'm still in two minds, and I go from one to the next. I mean, every job I've applied for so far, I've not actually heard anything back. So that's fine. I mean, everyone. Some of these jobs have nearly 1,000 applicants, and I'm like, geez, that's a lot of people. So chance of getting a job that I can do remotely, and the company don't even need me to come in for an interview or to sign contracts is basically zero. So freelancing and company, which is watered down, seems to be my best option there. But yeah, I'm just in two conflicting minds over it, and it's just been weighing me down a lot. I'll admit this week it's been kind of flitting between the two like a grasshopper. It's not been brilliant, but it has. I guess I'm finding more about myself during the process. If we have to pull one positive thing out of this, and that says I am incredibly indecisive as a person. I kind of knew this for a while when it comes to decision making, and you might have seen that with the kind of U-turn on actual this kind of program that we've actually now decided to bring back after cancelling it, and then like bringing it back, and now it's back, and now it's staying, and it probably will continue to stay every 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm just realizing how indecisive I am and how it's really unhelpful for me. But I have spent today, at least, fully in my website, and I've got it to load actually fast, which took me most of the day because I'm terrible at coding, which I'm still learning. I'm normally marketing's me more social and content for me rather than the technical coding side. So yeah, trying to get back into coding. Used to be good at it at school a long time ago, not like 3 years ago. So I mean it's not that long ago, but oh well. So yeah, that's actually been good. Today's been happy, I guess, doing that and getting it done and seeing the results at the end of it and seeing that everything I'm doing on the website is building it up and is working. So you might be in for something there. Other than that, it's been an indecisive week, bit anxious. I mean, I wasn't intending on going anywhere, like, an illegal rave or even down the pub. So the new restrictions, whatever they are, announced tomorrow, not really going to affect me, because, I'm staying in, I'm comfortable staying in, we can get deliveries, I guess I stay again, I'm privileged in the sense that I can, stay in, and I don't have to, go out to a job or do anything. I can just stay inside and just kind of stay in this kind of static position and not have to worry. And there's so many people out there that either have to go to work because that's their only income, or have children that have to go to school and then could potentially risk bringing the virus back into the home, and they can't not send their kids to school because they get fined. So there's a lot of feelings out there, and there's a lot of different situations, and from a mental health front, we say we're all in the same boat, everyone's going through this, etc., and everyone's got a low mental health, and I mean, yeah, we are all suffering in some way, be that on trivial terms of not being able to watch the football or go to the pub, to being separated from family and friends and not seeing loved ones. So yeah, I mean, it's not equal for everyone. There are people with a lot more stuff than others, so we kind of try and cover the spectrum on the stream. I know it's kind of featured in every stream, but then it is affecting mental health quite a lot. There's a new article out on The Guardian today, it's out today, about how mental health has deteriorated and a lot during lockdown. 43% increase in emergency referrals to mental health services was one of the things that stood out to me in that. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about how mental health is bad and how it's getting worse, and but that is, for some people who already have that low mental health, getting worse is really bad. It's not like, oh, everyone's got a little bit of low mental health. Like, I don't know how to try and explain it, and I'm trying to explain this to people that watch this that may not have had a mental health problem. before, that you feel lower, and we all feel lower, and we kind of equate it to that. But when you're already kind of at that rock bottom place, and then something else happens, I mean, that goes from the worst it can be to even worse, and that is incredibly difficult, and not a kind of position I'm going to even attempt to describe, because I'm not in that position. But it's incredibly a difficult position to be in, and when you're actually in that place, it's very difficult to then recover from what you're going through yourself, with everything else going on around. So for me, the things that I do to help me recover from, say, my depression is, try and see the positives, get out, etc., etc. That doesn't help, because the situation can't change, and you have to learn to live with it, which, if you're already trying to learn to live with your depression as it is, and then you try and live with more, you kind of going backwards and trying to live at a more depressed place than you got to, if that makes sense. And it's a lot more harder. It's incredibly hard. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of raise attention to that, because it's not just getting a little bit worse for some people. It's actually quite really bad, and worse than bad, and beyond words that can describe that. So it's quite difficult in that sense, and we're going to try and talk about that, and so what Mental Monday is kind of here for is to bring up these issues, to actually say that's okay, and we can actually talk about it. Not that it's going to change the situation at all. It's just I guess it helps me talking about things. It's why we do Mental Monday. Mental Monday is because I like talking about things, because it helps my mental health. And I mean, if you guys find it helpful as well, then so be it. Let's have this out. But yeah, I mean, talking massive thing for my mental health, and I get a lot of comments on that are like, but talking doesn't help, it's just empty words, it doesn't change things, and it doesn't change things. And there are therapies that I had to actually change things, counselling, which I guess is still talking, CBT, a various array of medications, none of which actually works. But obviously it may work for you. Obviously you may need medication. I personally don't take anything, but you may need to, and that's fine. And if that's what you need beyond talking, then yes, do that as well. It's not like talking's going to fix everything, but for me, being in a state that I've recovered to the point where I'm able to live out my life in the way that I want to, I can say, right, when things get low for me, I can talk about them, and that helps my mental health, and that helps me recover, and that helps keep me at a level where I'm able to manage things. Obviously, I still have quite a low mental health sometimes, but being able to talk about it, being in that place where I can actually manage that, is like so helpful for me to see that, I can express what's inside my head, I guess, out, and share it, and just make other people aware, really. And yeah, I think doing this definitely has made everyone aware of my mental health, which has its pros and cons. For me, it's rewarding, but I'm not advising you to go and shove yourself on YouTube. If you don't want to. I mean, it's a very open place, very open, so just be aware of that. But yeah, I mean, I've been working on a new Twitter account, so I haven't really been on mental health Twitter. It's definitely something I'm going to try and catch up with. Normally I go on mental health Twitter a lot, and I talk about just how I'm feeling, or have a natter to people on there. But yeah, it's been a while. I might actually go back on there and say hello. I feel like that'd be good, to actually catch up on mental health Twitter. Anyone else want to say anything? I mean, we're still open. We've got about 10 minutes left. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about at all? Do let me know in chat. You can also catch me on Twitter at JKSWrites or on my website jakesymons.com, all of which are linked in the description. All of which are under my name, so if you search my name or click the link, you'll find it. So yeah, I should probably share that article in chat actually. Let's do that. That's the article that is that I was talking about on The Guardian today. So just thinking of kind of situation, second lockdown, and how I feel about that, because I haven't actually had the chance, because I've been buried in my website most of the day. I haven't actually had the chance to process what that could mean. Obviously, I'll say it doesn't affect me that much. Staying inside anyway, but I feel like for me the biggest thing is not knowing when it will end, and the uncertainty around that. So normally, being autistic, I have a routine, and that routine is my life. If you're autistic yourself, you'll know this, or if you're a parent or someone who is, your routine becomes your life to an extent. So this is what you do, and you do your routine no matter what. Being quite literal in that sense. And yeah, I feel like for me, everything has a place. I know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what I need to do. I'm very rigorous. I would use the words organised, but that makes it sound like a normal neurotypical thing, which is definitely not. It's being rigorous and getting that attention to detail, I guess, which is good for work. I'm not gonna. It does have its advantages. Obviously being a marketer and managing websites, you have to pay attention to all the little details and make sure everything's optimized to an inch of its life, which I do. But when it comes to life and social life, personal life, relaxation, it's not ideal, but everything has a start and an end, effectively. The day has a start and an end. My kind of whole structure is, right, you do this, then you do that, etc., etc. This ends, then you start that. I just wax my hand on the desk. But yeah, with obviously this situation, we don't know when it's going to end. We don't know when we're going to get out of it. We don't know when we can, when restrictions are going to be eased, if more restrictions are going to come, what's going to happen in the future. And I don't like uncertainty, and that's quite difficult for me. It just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. And it's not necessarily linked to say anxiety or depression. It's more just a discomfort, and it's more just a weight in the back of my mind, which is more linked to just discomfort, and it's not linked to my anxiety or anything like that. But it's just there, and it's not brilliant to live with, but I manage it, and I manage it by burying myself in other things that I can control and trying to focus on those, etc., etc. But yeah, that's another one of those many feelings. I'm sure we've all been through the highs and lows since March, and will continue to do so. Probably until the box of Christmas decorations, which is making its way into the bottom right corner of the screen, comes out. Yeah. So that's another one of those many feelings. And I feel like, in these times, we've there's so much going on and so many feelings we're having, and how are we all coping with that? I'm getting through. I'm trying to take each day as it comes. I think everyone is, to an extent, just trying to take each day as it comes. But, how many days do you do that for? That is the question. When you look at people at breaking lockdown restrictions and kind of giving up on kind of keeping safe and keeping other people safe and just doing their own thing. Is that what we're heading into now? It's like, people not following the rules either because they're bored, they're tired, they don't think the rules are for them, because people like Dominic Cummings don't think the rules are for them, so why should I? Stuff like that. How do we kind of manage a situation when people ultimately will do their own thing, and you can fine them or you can lob them in prison, but people make their own decisions. People are responsible, and we as the mental health community, and as how so many tweets on my timeline from like the Mental Health Foundation keep saying, are not in control of that. And at the end of the day, we have to focus on what we can control, and that's hard, especially when you see so much, on the news, on Twitter especially, now we're being told to like dob in our neighbours for breaking lockdown rules, and stuff like that. How do you manage in a situation where you have to focus on what you can control, is when all you see is what's out of your control? That is, I guess, limit your news intake and limit social media, but then you cut yourself off from the world. But maybe that's what you need to do. I mean, I try and limit myself just to kind of work Twitter and then talk to friends on, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and try and stay off the feeds like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And then I just see, what my friends are up to, but you can't like limit yourself to just that and not know what's going on in the world. But equally, if you do, it's going to stress you out more. So, like, which way do you go with that? How do you manage that situation? And that's still something I'm trying to work out. In September, nearly October, and we're still going. So, yeah. Well, anyway, conversation seems to have died out in chat now, so I'm going to drop it off here. It's been great to catch up on Mental Monday with everyone and talk to you all and share some thoughts for this Monday. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time, as usual, and you'll note that the thumbnail has been updated now, or it should be, because I updated it, and I updated it on YouTube Studio, and I don't know if that copied over, because YouTube Studio and my YouTube account are not connected properly. And I have no idea how to fix it, so that is something to work on. But yeah, it's been great sharing some thoughts about lockdown. Bit of a bleak one again. I mean, after that government meeting, I mean, they were calling it stark. That's the word that was coming out of mainly on the news. Stark briefing. I mean, it was a bit doom and gloom, but then that is the world we live in, and the truth. If that is the truth of the situation, then tell it how it is. Even if it is bad. So I'm going to leave it off here. Thank you so much for watching Mental Monday. I've been Jake Symons. If you want to catch up with me personally, or if you want to talk about work, which is my marketing, or anything else like that, all links are in the description, or just search for me on Twitter or my blog, which I haven't actually blogged on in a while, so no point doing that. Although there is some good stuff from Mental Health Week in May actually on there that you could go through. But yeah, it's been great speaking to you, and it's been great to spend some time here and share some thoughts. And I'm going to sign off now. I've been Jake Symons. Thank you so much for watching Mental Monday today, and I will see you all in 2 weeks' time.